If you are a parent whose child struggles with different health issues and you think that they're not connected and you've just tried so many things, you've gone to a lot of doctors, you've tried the diet changes, and things just still are not getting better, there might be a common denominator between all of these symptoms, and that is the vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve is really, really important, and within your body, it's often overlooked as a root cause for a lot of why many numerous different things happen. The reason is that vagus nerve is responsible for so many things like digestion, the motility of that, your immunity, your endocrine, your emotional regulation, so many different things that don't seem connected. But at the end of the day, that vagus nerve regulates all of those things. And so if our vagus nerve has dysfunction, we're going to see a lot of conditions in children today that are really caused from a vagus nerve interruption or dysfunction going on with that nerve. So at our office, we see so many children who are on the spectrum, and now we are noting and have from CDC the word that 1 in 36 children is diagnosed with autism, and ADHD has increased by approximately 1 million children between 2016 and 2022. And so while genetics can be a factor and lifestyle can be a factor, evidence now is more strongly pointing to central nervous system dysregulation as the reason why these numbers are so increasing at such a dramatic rate. And so for us, that ties back to that vagus nerve and really getting to that root cause. And so when we know that vagus nerve is having dysfunction or is having an interruption in its normal day-to-day work, we really know that that's a communication pathway, and then that's going to affect so many things between the brain and the body. So within that development, within your vagus nerve, things like your lungs, your heart, your gut, your immune system, your emotional regulation are all kind of driven by that vagus nerve working. And so that vagus nerve is actually nicknamed the wandering nerve or the great protector. And that is because it is in charge of so many things within the body. It is that communication pathway. It really needs to be functional at 100% to make your brain and your body communicate, to make all of your tissues, organs, glands, systems all work as they should. Now that vagus nerve lies within that brainstem in the upper neck region. And so when we have disruption of how that area is working, we often see that with birth trauma or other kinds of trauma to the upper neck area, but it's really susceptible when we have babies that have a lot of birth trauma because of where that vagus nerve lies. The vagus nerve is within that brainstem, but then it's also going to make its way down into that thorax and abdomen, and that's where that responsibility for the gut comes into play too. So when we have gut issues, motility issues, that can all be from the vagus nerve, even though it lies up in the upper neck. Now, it has a really significant impact on kids' health because it will disrupt that communication, and then it's going to disrupt how the organs are working, how the basic health functions of your body are. Your body is telling your brain one thing and your brain is not understanding it, not giving the proper responses, signals, hormones back as a response. And so that is going to lead to a disruption of so many other things in the body. And then now we are seeing so many issues within our office with children that are having digestive issues, having eczema, having colic, constipation, all of these things that seem like they're not related, but they really, really are. At the root base of all of those things is nervous system dysregulation, vagus nerve dysfunction. And so we see all of these other things, then it kind of spirals into even decreased immunity, decreased ability to handle our emotions, or just regulate how our body is working. So now we're seeing kids that are chronically sick, are chronically having digestive issues, and now are also chronically unhappy and are having a lot of stressed out, anxious, misbehaving children because their vagus nerve is disrupted. And we all know that the brain and the gut are very, very connected. It's because of this vagus nerve. We call the gut the second brain, and it's because this vagus nerve is running from the brain to the gut. And so if one is disrupted, so will the other. So now while these things seemed disconnected or unrelated, now we know that vagus nerve is connecting. It's that great pathway, and it's connecting our brain to our gut. And so whatever's going on in one place is going to affect the other place. But now we know that it's also going to affect our hormones and the immune system and so many other things. And so what causes damage for this vagus nerve? How does it even happen? Birth trauma is one of those ways. So we talk about that a lot in our office. But having interventions, the more interventions that we see, the more chance that we're going to have some dysregulation after birth for that baby. And then stress is also a really big one. So stress during pregnancy or even stress trying to get pregnant, that all embeds in our bodies and has shown to have such a increase in stress for baby years down the road. So stress hormones are a really big one, birth interventions are a huge one, and then more of lifestyle things. So antibiotic use. We know antibiotic use within the first 6 months of life causes so many issues, but especially frequent antibiotic use in those first 2 years are going to wreak havoc on your vagus nerve. Also things like toxic exposures, which you might think is like mercury or lead. It does not have to be that broad. It's more things, toxins in our water, toxins in plastic water bottles, toxins in our food with pesticides, toxins in the Bath and Body Works pumpkin candle that you probably lit over the weekend when there was no power. All of those things are in our home, and unless we're constantly trying to filter our air, filter our water, filter what we're putting into our bodies, filter what's even on TV, all those things can cause stress in the body and then lead to a vagus nerve disruption, and that's going to cause so many more issues with our kids. Specifically when we're talking about things like colic and reflux and eczema and immune system challenges and chronic ear infections, constipation, sensory processing, all of these things are really, really, they come down to one thing, and that's that vagus nerve. And it is our nervous system being dysregulated. It is our body having these, what we call subluxations, where that communication between the brain and the body is not working. And that, as a chiropractor, is our job, to kind of find those areas and then remove them. So how do we do this? We really look at something called the HRV, which is a test that we do in our office on all ages. It's a 3-minute test that measures your heart rate variability, and from that we can determine how serious is this dysregulation, how much care does your body need, what is it going to take for your body to reset so that your body is not stuck in that fight or flight, and it can do things like rest, regulate, digest, heal, and grow. Those are obviously the things we want to do. We don't want to be stuck running from that bear. We don't want to be stuck with our digestive systems just not working at all, or having eczema, or getting sick all the time. We would like our body to prioritize our health and doing things to help us sleep better, to help us regulate our mood, our systems, our hormones, be able to help us digest food appropriately, be able to help us with healing properties when we cut ourselves or overwork ourselves or have any kind of issue, and then also to grow, healthy babies, to grow into great adults, to grow just in our relationships. And so there's so many things that seem like they're not related, but that vagus nerve is such an important piece, and it is that great protector for our body. So if your vagus nerve is not working as it should, this is just a glimpse, this is the surface of some of the issues we might see. So if it sounds like something your child could use, you can call our office or head to the link in our bio, or there'll be something posted under this video as well, and you can learn more about this wonderful nerve.